Amazing stories of triumph about cancer, and one of the best ones happens right here in New York when we heard that Mark Herzlich was diagnosed with cancer back in 2009, but he's still been able to fight through it. And at the age of 26, he is a linebacker for the New York Giants, and he joins us here on the Michael Kay Show. Mark, it's Don LaGreca and Om Youngmasuk. Thanks for giving us a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I'm happy to. Thanks, guys, for having me on.
You know, we were talking about, we've had so many different people on, and we had Mike Westhoff, former special teams coach of the Jets, and he said, stay positive, keep moving forward. That's the key. Was that what you were able to do to be able to get back on track when you were hit with this news back in 2009?
That's exactly right. Staying positive and pushing forward, but it's hard. It's not easy as just saying it. There's times when you feel depressed and you feel down. You feel like, okay, I'm in my third month of chemotherapy. When is this ever going to end? But then you have to bring yourself back. And, the way I did that was through setting these goals that I was striving for. And being healthy was obviously the first one, but then playing football again, it was that goal that pushed me through the hard times.
Hey, Mark, it's Om. Tell your parents to say what up. I hope they're doing well. Can you talk about when you were first diagnosed? I believe at first you were just feeling pain in your leg and you thought it might have been a nerve thing. And then to hear the doctor kind of tell you the odds, can you remind people of what the odds were? They were very slim at first, and what it's like to go through with that at that age, because you were coming off an unbelievable season. I'm sure you were feeling invincible to a certain degree. You were so young, so good in football, on top of the world at Boston College.
So you feel this sort of power when you're having success in football, and you feel like, okay, nothing's going wrong, and then all of a sudden this pain started, as you said, and then it lasted and didn't figure out what it was, and then finally in May of 2009, they found out what it was, and we sat in the doctor's office, and they told me that I had Ewing sarcoma, that it was a rare form of bone cancer, that 1 in 700,000 people get diagnosed with this, and if it has metastasized to other parts of my body, my survival chances would be about 10%. And, they said, okay, that's what the survival rate is, but then if you do survive, there'll be so much damage to your leg and to your body and to your lungs that you'll never be able to play football again. And if you're lucky, you'll be able to walk with a limp. And so, the initial diagnosis and prognosis of the treatments was very bleak. And you have to take that and say, okay, we're going to hope for the best in everything. The best case, it didn't metastasize, didn't travel to any other parts of my body, and we can isolate it there. If that happens, we go up to about 70% survival rate. I like those numbers a lot better. So you try to look at the bright side of each part of it, and you hope for it, and you pray for it, and you work for it. And for me, the bright side happened and came to fruition in each part.
Was there one specific person, Mark, that helped you through all this?
Well, there was a group. My immediate family, my mom, my dad, my younger brother, who Om knows, through his time at the Giants, and then my teammates at Boston College, and also my community. So, I had mentors in all different places, and they really joined together, and I pulled on all of them, and I drew from all of them, because one thing I learned was that I couldn't do it alone, and I wanted to. I wanted to do it alone, and I think that a lot of people who are diagnosed with cancer feel that, where they don't want to put this burden on other people. So they say, you know what, I'm okay. I'm going to do it myself. I'm not going to have anyone else worry about me. And I realized that couldn't be done. I couldn't do it all by myself, so everyone else helps me do it. And that's one of the reasons why I ended up writing a book about my battle, because I drew from other people's stories, like a Lance Armstrong, like Teddy Bruschi coming back from a stroke and playing football again. And now I'm able to share my story with people to create more survivors.
Hey, Mark, do you remember, I remember the story you were telling me when I wrote about, when you first came to the Giants and everything you had been through to get to that point. You were given an option of having surgery that could completely eliminate the cancer, or going the route of having chemo treatments that would have been like a 40 to 50% chance, I think, of eliminating it. If you had taken the surgery, your career probably would have been over, and you decided to do the chemo route. And you told me the story about you got a letter from a girl who played beach volleyball, I think, who said that she took the same route, didn't opt for the surgery because she wanted to keep playing on, and how that kind of inspired you.
Yeah, so I received that letter early on when I was first diagnosed, and I'm very happy that I did, because so chemotherapy was kind of, you have to do that, but then what the normal thing you do is you resect the tumor. So they take out the bone above them, they take out the segment where the tumor is and replace it with a cadaver bone or a rod, which, I think that's what Coach Westhoff had done in his leg. And she told me about how she got radiation, and so the radiation was another way to attack the cancer cells and to kill them. But what it does is you don't actually go in there. So the doctors can't actually say, all right, it's all gone until much later. And so that's what the risk is. And since there's, like I said, 1 in 700,000 people get diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma, there wasn't a lot of studies behind it. They didn't know what was the best course of treatment. So we had to kind of go with, all right, either one of these could work or either one of these might not work. So let's go with the best chance of being able to live the life I wanted to live. And one of the things you have to contemplate, and I contemplate, okay, you're talking about mortality, right? And 21 years old, thinking, gosh, this isn't the way I want to die. I don't want to die like this. But then you start to think about it in a different light, say, how do I want to live? If I do live, do I want to live debilitated, or do I want to live to my fullest? And I chose living to the fullest, and that it worked out. And we were pushing forward. And if the radiation hadn't worked, then I wouldn't be here today. But I was going to give it that shot, and we would probably felt a lot differently about the decision. But that's what we went for, and we never looked back.
Talking to Mark Herzlich, linebacker of the New York Giants. What do you think of your team this year?
I'm excited. We had a great OTA and mini camp, and just a lot of new faces, but a lot of really hard-working faces, and a lot of guys who are really excited about making this team great again. And I think our fans like blocked out last year. I think every time we're talking, we're so excited for this year. I'm like, okay, good. They're like, just don't do it what happened last year. And so I mean, it's good. The fan base is still behind us, very strong.
Oh, Mark, good luck with everything that's going on. Best of luck this season. Hope to talk to you soon.
Thanks very much, guys.
Just a great story of perseverance.